What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at Sam's version 1 numbers. People keep asking me to make this video, so I'm going to just deliver. I know Boot Hill is next and I usually go on order of release, but since people keep asking me about Harmony MC and Sam, I'm going to deliver this video to you guys, even though it's a little too early for my liking. Whenever we get updated information on Sam's numbers and Sam's kit, I will be making follow-up videos, so expect those as well. So if you enjoy this type of content, let me know by liking the video, leaving a comment in the comment section below, and subscribing to the channel. I want to get to 10,000 subs by the end of the year. Help your boy make that goal. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. I know I already went over Sam's kit in a previous video, but we have numbers now, so we can actually have a better idea of what his kit is actually like. Off the cuff, there's a lot to go over. If you can see, it's a lot of red squares. Let's just dive in. Basic deals 100% fire damage, energy regeneration is 20, break 30, the standard basic attack that everybody has. He has an enhanced basic attack that deals 250% fire damage and heals Sam for 20%. So that's pretty good. It doesn't regenerate any energy, and it does 45 break on a single target, which is pretty nice. Regular skill consumes 50% of Sam's HP and deals 250% damage to a single target with an energy regeneration of 120. So those of you who don't know, Sam's ultimate is 240, but the skill gives you half of his energy. So essentially, if you're at 0, you would have to skill twice to get his ultimate up. And that skill has 60 break. This is pretty standard for a skill. Now for the enhanced skill, heals 35% HP and applies fire weakness to a single target for 2 turns. This is insanely strong. Deals fire damage equal to 50% of break effect plus 400% of Sam's attack to a single enemy, and half of this damage is dealt to adjacent enemies. So this is one of the better skills in the game, actually. It applies a fire weakness to the target you're about to hit, kind of like Boot Hill's ultimate and Silver Wolf's skill, but it's not random. It's 100% guaranteed going to get a fire weakness on the enemy for 2 turns. This is kind of crazy. It's really, really strong. And the multiplier is very, very strong too. So if you have, let's say, 200% break effect, it's going to add 100% to this multiplier, so it'll be 500% of his attack or Sam's attack to a single target enemy, and then half of that damage to the adjacent enemies. It's very, very strong. 90 break, 45 blast. Really, really strong enhanced skill right here. Ultimate, as you may have predicted, you're going to enter a combustion or a transform state, and it's going to advance your action by 100%. So let's assume that you have 0 energy. You skill once, you make it to your next turn. Your HP is going to be half, and then you skill again, you get your turn, you ultimate, and then you transform into the combustion state, and you gain another turn. Pretty much exactly how Jingliu works, okay? Every 2 skills, you're going to get a transformation and go into your transform state with an extra turn. This will make you gain an enhanced basic and an enhanced skill, increase speed by 50, break efficiency by 50, and increase damage for broken enemies by 12%. I think this counts as a vulnerability debuff. When combustion gets a turn, Sam exits combustion, and combustion has 90 speed. That doesn't mean Sam has 90 speed. It means that the counter of how long the duration of his ultimate is going to be has 90 speed. So if you're able to have double the amount of speed, which means like 180 speed, you're going to lap him 2 times, if that makes any sense. So very strong. So you're going to have to build a lot of speed on your Sam, as it seems like in this little ultimate right here. Now for the talent, gains damage reduction based on how low the HP is. The lower the HP, the higher the damage reduction, up to a max of 40% reduction at 20% HP. So when you have 20% HP, you're going to have the full damage reduction of 40%. This is getting dangerously low for my liking, but it's okay, because once you get to your ultimate and you do your enhanced skill, you're going to heal 35% HP, which will put you at about half, so it's fine. Aside from that, you're going to increase your effect rate by 25%, and if your energy is below 50 at the start of battle, regenerate up to 50%, and when the ultimate is activated, remove all debuffs. So this is pretty much going to ensure that every single time you start a battle, with 1 skill, you're going to be able to enter your combustion state and be able to ult. So the only thing that I like about this whole thing is this last part. Everything else, I don't understand why this mechanic is a thing on Sam. I don't get the HP mechanic on Sam at all, but I don't know. I guess they know what they're doing, I guess. Moving on to the technique, fly for 5 seconds and attack all enemies in range when you come down. At the start of battle, inflict fire weakness on all enemies for 2 turns that don't already have it, and deals damage equal to 200% of attack to all enemies. This is a very, very strong tech, one of the stronger techs in the game. Getting a guaranteed fire weakness on everybody on the field and hitting them for 200% of your attack is actually pretty insane. It's pretty good. So hopefully this makes it all the way through the beta and this doesn't get cut out, because it's really, really strong technique for Sam. For the rotation, there's not really much to it. You're going to skill until you get to ult, and then you're going to ult, and then once you ult, you're going to spam the skill as much as you can. You're probably never going to end up basic in or outside of combustion. if you have the skill points, okay? All right, now on to Sam's traces. If Sam is in complete combustion, which is the transformed state, with a break effect that is equal to 250 or 360 or higher, additionally ignores 30% or 40% of target's defense when attacking. So essentially, you have a threshold. If you meet one of the thresholds, you get 30% damage defense ignore. And if you meet the second threshold, you get a 40% defense ignore. I'm just going to say it right now, these 360% break effect is extremely high. It wouldn't surprise me if this gets tweaked down to about 300%. And then this one gets tweaked down to about 200 or 250. This one can stay at 250, but this one 360 is way too high, okay? So it wouldn't surprise me if they end up changing this, but we'll never know until Sam's release date, okay? But still, built-in defense ignore of about 30 or 40% is actually bonkers. Is actually really, really strong. So there is that. This is also a good time to talk about a new set that may or may not be coming out that is centered around break effects. And if you meet a certain break effect threshold, you will ignore 10 or 18% defense on top of this already. So there is a set that Sam is going to get for pretty much herself that is going to amplify this little effect right here. Next one, for every 100 of Sam's attack that exceeds 240, increases Sam's break effect by 6% up to a max of 60. So if you have a maximum amount of 3,400 attack, you're going to get an extra 60% break effect, which is going to help you reach these thresholds if you are not lucky with your relic rolls, okay? Or if you don't have a signature light cone, or the other only destruction light cone that gives you break effect, which is the Misha light cone. I don't expect people to have Misha's light cone maxed out or have Misha's light cone at all, but that light cone and his signature light cone are the only two that actually give you break effect. While Misha gives you 56%, his signature light cone is looking to give about 60. And then the last trace, while in complete combustion, attacking enemies without a fire weakness can also reduce toughness by an amount equal to 55% of the original ability's toughness reduction. So this makes him a colorless breaker. It makes him to where he's not useless if you don't have fire weakness. Even though he implements fire weakness himself, there may be an enemy that doesn't have it, and if you end up hitting that enemy, then you're going to have the toughness reduced as well. So it's really, really strong. So when you read the kit, you feel like he's actually very, very strong, and he kind of is, but at the same time, for the character that he should be, you're going to see the numbers for yourself. You're going to have to make your own decision. All right, finally, trace stats, 37% break effect, which is expected. Effect res, 18%. I don't know why they do this. And then 5 speed. Minus the effect res, I like the 5 speed. I like the 37.3. The speed is really important because Sam, without the combustion, is pretty much one of the slowest. I think it's either the slowest or the second slowest character in the game, sitting at 92 speed, which is really, really bad. All right, let's move on to the calculations. All right, here we go. Sam's calculation, our baseline is going to be using Misha's light cone, as I previously stated. I have it at S5, but this is just for this video. You're probably not going to have this light cone at S5, but at S1 is going to be 28%. So if you have it at S1, it's going to be 28%. So it's going to drop this by about 28, but I'm going to leave it at 56 for this purposes of this video. These two are not going to be the sets that I'm actually calculating in this here. I just have them here as a placeholder. Preferably you'll want break effect centered stats. So right now, these are the only two that we have in game that actually benefit him, or that actually benefit Sam. But in reality, when Sam releases, there's going to be a better relic set that's going to, as I previously discussed, allow him to reduce or ignore more defense depending on how much break effect it has. And there's also a planar set that is going to come out that if you're attacking a fire weak enemy, you are going to get increased break effect for the turn. So since Sam always attacks fire weak enemies because he can implant the debuff or implant the weakness, then that break effect, which is about 40%, is always going to be active. So just keep that in mind. These are not the sets that I have in the calculations, okay? For base attack, he has 757. Light cone gives him 476. We are running an attack chest, and this is where my problems start developing with Sam. So he has a trace where for every 100 attack that you have over 2,400, he gets more break effect. My thing is that attack does not benefit break effect at all. So you stacking more attack doesn't make your break damage or break effect damage any stronger. So that kind of rubs me the wrong way because you really just want him to have speed and break effect. And if you can squeeze in some crit values here for when you're not hitting broken enemies, so you can amplify that damage a little bit further. But that's going to be a whole nother discussion, which type of Sam you should build. But for this particular scenario, we're going to run an attack chest. The speeds are always going to be boots because you need to be fast so you can outspeed your combustion state. So you can get more turns out of your Sam in the transform state. The orb is also going to be attack because obviously attack directly transforms into break effect. And since it's not percentage based, his trace is not percentage based, you kind of want to squeeze in as much attack as you can, especially if you can get over the 100 marker. Rope, obviously you want to break rope because Sam is break effect. Hands 352. Subs I put 30, but this is more realistically going to be around 22. Maybe more. It just depends on how old your account is and how much you've been grinding. He doesn't get any attack from relics, for planar sets, or the light cone. Now for the important part, which is break effect sources, we have the trace stat at 37.3. Subs I did 50 because since you want to stack as much break effect as you can, you're going to want to hyper focus on those. So having 50% break effect, if you're hyper focusing on that substat, shouldn't be that difficult to obtain. Light cone is going to give you 56. All right, now for the relics, we have 16% because the new set gives you 16% break effect on the 2-piece, and then this gives you 40%. The planar set gives you 40% when you're attacking a fire weak enemy, as I previously discussed, he is always going to be attacking fire weak enemies, so this is a 56% relic bonus. Buffs, we're not going to add Ruan Mei or Harmony MC just yet, so 0, and then the rope is 64 for a total of 288. So as you notice, with the 288%, we are already activating the first part of his defense reduction, which is the 30% defense ignore, which is over here. And then we're also going to be activating the threshold for break effect for the set that gives us an extra 18. So this is where the 40% defense ignore is going to come from. Now, this one is break effect from the trace. This, you can't really see it. So break effect from trace is an extra 24%. So I think this is added in here as well. So this is the amount we're getting from this trace because we have 2400 and we have 6 instances of 100 attack after 2400. So that's an extra 6 times 4, 24 type of deal. So 24% break effect added onto here. And we have a total of 288% break effect. He also has a vulnerability debuff for 12%. It's not a debuff, it's more like he makes the enemy receive more damage. It counts as a vulnerability. And that is pretty much everything he has. I gave him 70% crit rate and 100% crit damage because you're not really going to be hyper focusing on crit rate. This actually realistically could be 50 for that matter. Like you can put it like that. It really doesn't make that much of a difference because most of his damage is going to be after he breaks or while he's breaking. Now for the important part is going to be the damage, right? So I have the damage table right here, which has the enhanced basic, the skill, enhanced skill, and then break damage and super break damage, which are the important markers of his whole damage. Okay, I have a 720 toughness enemy, which is the meme who is also weak to fire. So this is the perfect enemy for Sam. 720 massive toughness bar, which is also weak to fire. It's good for break, and for super break is actually not that great because you're going to take longer to break, but he gives himself some weakness break efficiency, which we're going to go over in a minute. So as you can see, his regular outside break damage is actually not that high, 18k for the skill. And remember, this is not taking into consideration any damage bonuses, anything like that. The only thing we're only taking into consideration is the 48% defense ignore, and that is about it. Okay, all right, so for our break formula, we have 120,000 damage, which is pretty hefty. It's a pretty hefty amount of break, but since it's only one time every time you break the enemy's shield or the enemy's toughness, this is actually not a really high number because it only triggers one time when you break the enemy. Aside from this, it's going to have a fire dot, which is only going to be doing the 1 times the level multiplier, which is this. So it's going to be doing about 3,767 damage for the fire dot, and it lasts for I think 2 turns, right? So as far as break damage, he's sitting at 120k with this number. Okay, mind you that this is just himself, no damage, no break effect buffs, nothing like that. Now for the super break is a little bit different. So because it's the meme, right, and we're using Harmony MC, in order for us to calculate super break, we're going to have to factor in Harmony MC, okay? So Harmony MC is going to give us an extra 30% break effect at the bare minimum. Remember, if you have her E4, which I don't expect most people to have her E4, but if you have her E4 and you have some break effect on Harmony MC, you're going to be getting about, let's say, 30% extra in break effect. So I'm just going to give out an example that you have a Harmony MC with at least 200% break effect, which is actually pretty easy to do because of memories of the past. So if you have a Harmony MC with at least 200% break effect and you have her E4 or have it E4, you're going to get the 30% break effect from the regular passive, and you're also going to get an extra 30% from her Eidolon at E4. So that's an extra 60%. So already, by adding Harmony MC, the break damage goes up to 140,000, and the super break is going to do a little bit more damage. So super break single target is going to be 85,000, which is a little bit less than this, but remember, this is every single time that we hit the enemy, okay? Since we're only attacking one enemy, which is the meme, we have 160% of our break damage. This does not apply. So the actual total is only this. These two only apply whenever we have more than one enemy, but we're only doing the meme, right? So the meme only takes 85k, and then the break damage is going to add up to about 200,000, 210,000 damage, okay? This is with his enhanced basic, or his enhanced skill that does 90 toughness, right? Now let's add the second best in slot supporter, which is Ruan Mei. So the first thing, Ruan Mei is going to give us some damage, right? So let's add in 68% damage, which won't really affect your break damage at all, but it will affect your out of break damage. She also is going to give you 25% res pen. So let's go ahead and do 25% res pen. And then let's go ahead and go back down here to the formula. And as you can see, our break damage is going to 173,000 and our super break is going to 107,000. Oh, and we forgot something because she also gives you break efficiency. And this is the importance of Ruan Mei in super break teams that I'm pretty sure almost nobody is like covering. Look at how much damage adding 50% break efficiency is going to add to your total super break damage. So it's at 50. We're going to put 100. It adds 40%, just straight 40% damage increase on the enemy right here. So every time you attack the enemy outside of break, you're going to be doing this damage right here, so about 40k, and then you're also going to be doing about this damage right here, which is 142,000, which is about, I don't know, 190,000 damage every time you attack the enemy while it's broken, right? Now let's complete the team, and let's say Gallagher is the sustain you're going to go with, because it goes with the theme of the team. You know, it's break effect. Gallagher actually has a vulnerability debuff that enhances break damage, and it applies to both break damage and super break damage. So let's go ahead and add in Gallagher's own vulnerability, which is 20, is also 12. And look at how our damage is going to go up. Our initial break damage is hitting for 191,000. Our enhanced skill, which is the one that we're actually going to be using, or we're actually going to be doing, is 44,000, and our super break damage for one enemy is 160,000. So the damage is looking like it's going to be a lot of damage. And super break is a play style that you're going to have to learn how to play, right? It's not just like unga bunga and then like just use attack them while they're broken. So the instance of breaking the enemy is actually very important. You don't want to break the enemy on the tail end of the attack. And what I mean by that is some attacks have multi-hits, right? And some hits have different toughness reducing damage than others, right? So for instance, Sam, the majority of his toughness reduction is on his second hit. So if you want to maximize your super break damage, you're going to want to break the enemy with the first hit of Sam's attack. And then the rest of the attacks are going to deal the most super break damage after that. So you may lose a little bit of super break damage here, but it's going to add all this stuff in total. Like it's going to add the skill, the break damage, and the super break damage all in just one massive skill. All right, just for the fuck of it, let's just do his signature light cone. So the signature light cone is going to give him 60% break effect. It's going to give the enemies a debuff that is going to give him a 15% vulnerability. So this will go into 139. And it's also going to slow them down, give them less speed so they don't recover from the break as fast. So with that, our total break damage is going up to 217,000 damage. Our initial enhanced scale is about 50,000. And our super break damage is 178,000 damage. So if we add all these in total, which I'm going to do right here, let's just go ahead and add these up. Our total damage for a Sam, when you play him correctly and you break at the appropriate time, it's going to be around 450,000 single target if you have all this stuff straight. Is this like great, like outstanding, like super crazy damage? I mean, it is pretty high. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty high. However, it's not Acheron level, so let's see what it is. And it's also on the first beta. So Sam is very likely subject to change. Is going to change. Something in his kit is going to change. I can pretty much guarantee that. I don't know what's going to change, but something in his kit or something in Sam's kit is going to end up changing. So he probably is going to end up doing even more damage. My prediction is that Sam is going to be the second best DPS in the game, trailing shortly behind Acheron, but he's definitely going to be better than Dan Heng. And I'm pretty sure he's already better than Jing Liu. So if you want to flame me in the comments for that, go ahead. But that is my take. That is going to be my prediction that he's going to end up being either the first or second best DPS in the game. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. Help your boy out reach that 10K subscriber goal. And until next time, guys, see ya.